Welcome to another episode of NFL Recaps. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
Vitamin J.
So we've been gone for a minute. Now we're back. We've missed the last 2 weeks due to just different things with the whole situation. We kind of felt it was very well talked about. But we're back to recap week 1 of the NFL playoffs, aka Wildcard Weekend, baby. So we'll just recap the first game on Saturday night. Saturday early in the day. It was the 49ers taking it to the Seahawks, 41-23.
I'm not shocked.
3 touchdowns, 3 TDs, 332 yards passing, 3 TDs, had another TD on the ground,
This Brock Purdy stuff,
Deebo Samuel's back. He showed you how dynamic he is. Just this game, he turned a 9-yard pass into a 74-yard touchdown. So now you thought they were versatile already, so now they're even more versatile. So they're going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, as a Panthers fan, I'm hoping they win the Super Bowl just so McCaffrey can get a Super Bowl ring. But then I can feel, the Panthers earned something in their lifetime,
The Panthers ain't earned nothing. Christian McCaffrey earned it.
Yeah.
The Panthers gave them McCaffrey on a very cheap deal, very, very affordable deal. In fact, I think the 49ers gave too little for him.
Y'all the ones who gave him away for that price.
Yeah, who would have thought Brock Purdy would be looking better than Jimmy Garoppolo?
Brock Purdy did.
Yeah,
But you see the Paul Heyman hype thing for Brock Purdy?
Yep.
Yeah. Even Paul Heyman's hyping Brock, as the next big thing. So we got to take this real seriously.
Mm-hmm. Well, the question for the 49ers is, has Brock Purdy done enough in his 6 or whatever games to say she should be the starter over Trey Lance next year?
Unless they win the Super Bowl, it's probably an open competition.
He's putting up ridiculous numbers. I don't remember Trey Lance's, but I don't think the numbers were this good.
He's barely played, and the one game he played this year was monsoon, so it's hard to. He hasn't really had. We don't even have enough to say anything about it. To that point, though, it would be harder for Trey Lance to be better than Brock Purdy has been playing, though.
Oh yeah, like I said, Trey Lance has more talent. That's not in discussion. But just who is better to lead this type of offense?
Brock Purdy, especially if he does well, and even if they lose the Eagles, like if they get past Cowboys, lose the Eagles, but he still plays well, then it really does come like, can we really sit this guy because he's putting up such great stats? Now, granted, it will be showing like how good is this Shanahan offense.
I've always said Kyle Shanahan runs a quarterback-proof offense. Every quarterback he's ever had, he's made them look better than they are. Either guy would probably do all right, but I think they would go with Brock Purdy if he gets to the NFC Championship game playing this well. I think they'll stick with him.
With the Seahawks, it was a good season, 9-8. You just came down to you played a really good team, but you had a really good season. Got a top pick coming into next year with the Broncos pick.
The only question for them is, do they pursue quarterback with that pick or keep Geno Smith? I think I would keep Geno Smith because I think the top 2 picks will be quarterbacks now since Houston lost that.
They might try to franchise Geno.
Yeah, I think they will. So that way they get the one more year out of him to make him prove it. But I think if I was them, I think I'll just stick with Geno because with Houston losing the first pick, I think the first two picks will be quarterbacks. So then you're talking Will Levis or Geno. I'll stick with Geno.
True. But that first pick is up for grabs. It does depend what you want to do, though.
If Geno is a one-year wonder, to his credit, that's one of the greatest career turnarounds I've ever seen. I was never expecting him to throw 30 touchdowns, 4,000 passing yards.
So everyone came into the season thinking they had one of the worst quarterback situations, and he's like, "I'm going to be better than Russell Wilson was this year."
He was by far.
He told you at the beginning he ain't running back. All right, so we're going to go into our next game for Saturday. We are going in the comeback. This guy remains undefeated on Saturdays. It was Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert.
Trevor Lawrence went from having one of the worst first half I've ever seen a quarterback. He rebounded so nicely. It just everyone forget how bad he was.
Great, I don't know what you call it, poise, just to even come back and not just pretty much be like, oh, all right, this game's over. Let's just pack it in. I mean, to come back down 27-0 in one half, that's pretty good.
Impressive.
When the 33-0 came back, there was turnovers. When the New England Patriots came back, there was a turnover. There was no turnover.
Right.
And they came back. Usually you're expecting some type of turnover that changes the time. No, there was no turnovers. They just drove down the field. Good defense stopped them and had to drive down those long fields.
A lot of people want to put this solely on Justin Herbert, which I don't think is fair. He could play better, no doubt about it. But the Chargers were out 27-0. And what you do in that situation is you run the ball. But the Chargers' run game was horrendous that game. They were getting 1 or 2 yards per carry. So that means you're not going to get a first down if you run it 3 straight times. It's just not good for running out the clock.
Well, to be precise, Matt, they were at a total of 23 rushes for 67 yards, so for 2.9.
2.9. Excuse me. But it's just bad. When you burn the clock out, you want to get first downs running. When you can't do it, I mean, you're going to end up passing. And now that's Herbert's job to complete that. But it's still like the team offense as a whole wasn't operating well.
Yeah, like I said, Staley needs to be fired. I feel like maybe the whole coaching staff needs to be fired.
Yeah, this team is underachieving.
Mm-hmm. We know their OC got fired.
Yeah, Joe Lombardi got fired.
You know, on the other side of Doug Peterson, what he did with his Jacksonville team, he kept them in it. He kept them believing. You know, that does come down to coaching. And when we're going to talk about some people later is, you know how they always say with some coaches, oh, well, it takes a couple years to implement their system. Well, not everybody, because you have people like Doug Peterson and a man we'll talk about later, Brian Daboll, that have only been there for a year and have definitely seen mass improvements of both these teams in implementing their style and implementing this.
Yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson ain't afraid. He's not afraid. Brandon Staley coached like he was afraid to lose that game. Doug Peterson said, I'm not scared. We're down 27-0. We can still win. That's just the way Doug Peterson is. That's why I knew he'd be a fantastic hire for this team.
So we'll move on to the next game. It was the first game on Sunday. It was a game that was a lot closer than we was initially expected to be. It was the Bills edging out the Miami Dolphins 34-31. Josh Allen, over 300 yards, 3 TDs, 2 interceptions.
Well, this is his worst playoff game before this in his whole playoff career. He only had 1 pick. Now he's got 3.
I mean, he's going to need to clean some things up if they're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one who was mistake-prone this game. I believe they had another fumble by someone else, and I think something else ridiculous happened. But this was only a game because the Bills were letting it be a game. The Dolphins played better than they should have under the circumstances with a third-string quarterback, but the Bills just kept making mistake after mistake that I don't think they're going to keep making.
I mean, if there was a week for them to have it, this was the week.
Yeah.
That it wouldn't come back to haunt them. You've noticed that, I mean, he's still playing very well, but Josh Allen, you're starting to see more of that Brett Favre in him, with kind of sometimes that erratic play at times. I don't think it's the biggest concern, but I think it's a little cause for concern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they want to win the Super Bowl, they simply just can't do that against the Bengals and Chiefs. So you simply can't do that.
Big time. But yeah, that's pretty much all from that game. We're going to go into that mid-game. I mean, the one we all want to talk about. I know. Don't be giving me that look. We've been saying it. It was the Giants over the Vikings with Danny Dimes, Vanilla Vic, Danny playoff. The first ever, as it has never been done. 300 passing yards, 2 TDs, ran it for 70 plus yards. Never been done by anybody. Not Michael Vick. You know, not Patrick Mahomes, not Cam Newton. Like, this guy, I don't know what to say about this guy. He keeps doing this. And, you know, you haters, you know, you want to talk about people who were ready to write him off. Myself and Vitamin J did not write this guy off. Never. We said, just let him play. You know, give him a good coach. And he's doing this with a impromptu line and like just some people off the street as his linemen and some receivers. Wait till they give him some help too. Wait till he gets some help.
We've been saying it for years.
The main thing, his bad thing the past 2 seasons have been turnovers. and he has been very good with not turning the ball over this season.
All right, he really he brought those down a lot, and that's been big. And I think that's kind of what the offense did. Also, recently, you'll notice these past games, they also have let him kind of just go more of understanding like we're going to loosen the chains, let him kind of play.
He ran it 17 times. He doesn't. He probably shouldn't make a habit of that. I don't think he's built to be taking that.
No, but
No.
for this playoff run, he's fine with it. But yeah, in the future, probably not. They go to Philly. That's a dub. They're going.
Okay. There's like AFC, NFC Championship against Dallas, San Francisco, easy.
Yep.
Super Bowl against Kansas City, Buffalo, done deal.
Done deal. Oh, don't let him win. Don't let him win.
You are. If the Giants beat the Eagles next week, I'm gonna be ruthless. Oh my god.
I'm not even gonna show it to this damn thing if that happens.
Yeah, back to there is no pod next week.
The first one would be texting me, "Hey, you hopping on?" I'm like, "No, I ain't gonna be there."
And just like that meme said, the price just went up.
Yeah. Please do it because I still don't think he's that good.
Oh wow, you still doubt him?
Dangerous weapons can't be that bad because I saw some Cowboys fans say that Dak Prescott's weapons are worse than his.
Oh come on, CeeDee Lamb
yes.
is better than you.
But CeeDee Lamb,
Tony Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz.
Michael Gallup.
Gallup would be a number one here.
Mm-hmm.
Schultz would be his number one weapon.
Going to the Vikings, as we said like 2 weeks ago, and a lot of people said it, that the biggest team to face a round one upset would be the Vikings.
Yeah, because everyone saw the record and like, yeah, that looks really good. But then you look at the Vikings, you're like, man, you're not that good. Okay, so it was no surprise to everyone that they lost. We're like, I don't care what your record says, you're simply just not that good.
You're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, you're not that guy, pal. So I'm not surprised. And dude, I'm telling you, like Kirk Cousins, he posts great numbers, and I think he's a pretty good quarterback. But I mean, 4th and 8, game on the line, you throw a check down. I'd rather you be like Brett Favre and throw something stupid up. I don't care. I mean, he didn't play bad. It's just that the 4th and 8, and then you throw it 3 yards. What?
You know that's sad because a lot of quarterbacks do that now. Like, just take the chance, throw a pick if you have to.
I mean, the season's over if you don't.
I'll forgive the pick. I'll forgive.
Yeah, that's fine.
Get in there to get the play.
That's insane to me. Like, this is why no one like is a strong Kirk Cousins supporter, because no matter how good he looks, and from time to time, when it comes down to these moments, this is the stuff he does.
I will give him also, Justin Jefferson, 77 receptions, 47 yards. It's pretty good. That's really good on Justin Jefferson because
No, they were making it a point that he was not going to be the one to beat them.
They did make a point. Triple team, quadruple team them, just be like anybody else. Don't care who else.
Yeah, I mean, that Hawkinson went off because he was open because they were doubling Jefferson. But I'd rather risk that than have Jefferson beat me deep.
Dude, he can even beat you short, and he'll find a way.
Yeah, so I'll take Hawkinson.
Big win. I think this week really just kind of made that really solidifying. I know this is supposed to be a regular season award, but really kind of putting it to, I think, pretty much winning it for probably Dayball, but I mean, Peterson still has.
I'll say Peterson, yeah.
I think those two just pretty much made it Coach of the Year two-way right. It's those two. Great job to both of them. It's going to be interesting what happens next week. And as we go on for the Vikings, now you're kind of in that conundrum of like, you're a good team. You're probably going to make playoffs again, but how do you get to that next step? We all know who the issue is on the next step.
Yeah, but the thing is with the Vikings, it depends on how their management thinks. Do they think they're closer to the 13-4 team, or do they think they're closer to the 9-8 team they looked like most of the season? How good do you really think you are? Because if you think you're still pretty good, you'll stick with Kirk Cousins, while you fix some other spots up, see if you can get better defense.
If you get rid of Kirk Cousins, who do you get? That's better.
Yeah. No, you're not. Quarterbacks that are better don't end up usually on the free agent market. You're gonna have to trade.
You're gonna have to trade now. Possibly, depending on your opinion on Derek Carr, would be kind of.
Derek Carr's not better.
That's why. That's why I said depending on your opinion.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. My opinion.
All right. We'll go into our next game. It was one of the other divisional clashes. The Bengals beating the Ravens 24-17. Wasn't the greatest game by the Bengals.
Yeah, not the best performance by the Bengals, like y'all said. Yeah, and they really almost lost this game because, I mean,
allowing that touchdown, getting that ball punched out.
Yep. 98-yard fumble recovery touchdown on a quarterback sneak. Almost never happened. Or quarterback dive, whatever you call it. Almost never happens. But they almost lost it. So this was a really poor effort from them. Nothing was particularly bad. They just were kind of underwhelming on both sides. Nothing awful or anything. Just not really clicking that day. So they're going to need to do better if they want to have a shot against Buffalo. But the short time they played a couple weeks ago, Bengals looked really good. And I know that doesn't really mean anything now, but still, I think, if they're playing right, they could upset the Bills.
Yeah. And you wonder if Buffalo and the Bengals were both looking forward to the game ahead and kind of forgot about this one. I think the other big story, the huge storyline that comes from this for the Ravens side is Lamar Jackson, because he's not playing. Now that your season's over, now it's contract. What's going to happen with his contract?
I could see this getting very ugly, because especially if it seems like Lamar wants the guaranteed contract, and I think the last thing I saw is that he still is looking for that. And the Ravens, there's just no shot. Last 2 years, you ended the season injured. You're not getting a fully guaranteed contract. I know both years they played really well when Lamar Jackson was healthy, and they would have been a serious contender. I don't think Super Bowl, but serious playoff contender with Lamar Jackson. And 2 seasons in a row, you're not there. The Ravens are going to say he's not worth the guaranteed contract, and he's going to want that. And I see it getting kind of ugly.
Because doesn't he want like 5 years?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to get ugly. I mean, there was rumors that like he might have played had he had the contract. And again, I see it with Lamar of like, hey, I don't want to risk getting hurt, and then I'm screwed. Definitely not getting a contract then. So,
right.
It's a very difficult situation because again, it's like, well, what do you do? Because he's out of contract. They can't franchise tag.
They can franchise him one more time.
You can do it 2 times, I think.
Because the issue with him franchising is, well, for him, I could see of him wanting out.
Yeah, no long-term, yeah.
No long-term deal. And for you franchise him, yeah, he plays that year, but then he can walk.
Right,
At that point, he might be pissed off about you franchise tagging me. It's an issue that I'm glad I don't have to deal with, though. All right, we're going to go to the last game. It was Jacob's Cowboys beating the GOAT, Tom Brady, 31-14.
Worst game of the weekend.
Really ugly game. Records were broken for four missed extra points.
Didn't end up mattering a bit. So I think the story's getting overplayed, but it had no impact on the game, even though it is incredible to see someone miss 4 PATs in a row.
We just better hope he gets that out of the way and doesn't do that next week.
Yeah. And Dak Prescott going for 305 yards, 4 TDs. The question that everybody's he had 505 TDs total. Them boys, is it their year? Is it America's
year?
If they beat San Francisco, I'll be worried. But I mean, they beat the 8-9 Bucks, who we all were only really hyping up because we thought what they could be, not what they've done. Because all year they looked really bad and inconsistent. So people were more hoping this would be a good game and not really basing on anything that's actually happened, just because Tom Brady's done it over and over again.
Yeah, because next week they're going up against
San Francisco,
who are the hottest team.
And San Francisco's arguably better now.
And has 2 days advantage on you.
Yeah, and their home field.
Cowboys. Yeah, it's going to be now. I think the game will be closer than some because, again, the Cowboys have a good defense.
Yeah.
But,
against their 7th-round rookie, they'll make Brock Purdy make a mistake or 2. I bet.
But how do the Cowboys do now with the pressure? Because we've seen it before. They have one good week. Everybody starts overhyping the Cowboys. Everybody gets on the bandwagon. And it's like, same story, different chapter.
So we'll see. I hope they don't win the Super Bowl. So I will be rooting against them pretty hard.
The other question is obviously people are going to speak is the Tom Brady that this journey starts is This is going to be what happens with Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure from his comments, it doesn't sound like he's coming back. He is a free agent.
He's not coming back to Tampa.
He's not going back to Tampa Bay. I highly doubt he's retiring. But it'll be, where does he go? Most likely, I think he's going to the Raiders.
Raiders, yeah. I mean, to be honest, besides the Raiders, I don't know who else would truly want him. He didn't look that great this year, and you can say it's for whatever reason. He just looked noticeably different than last year, and his performance this year, I can't say I predict a favorable outcome next year, especially a man who's going to be 46. Who besides McDaniels would want him?
I mean, I will say he has regressed, but again, he's 46. The body can only last for so long. But I will give him maybe the credit of the divorce might have been weighing on his mind a lot more this year. That his mind might not have been there the whole time. The line might have been an issue because this year they dealt with a bunch of injuries on that line. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think the Raiders. The other one that I could kind of see is maybe Miami. I know previous years there was rumors of him wanting to go to the Dolphins, but we'll see because I think them right now with Tua, that's another big question. And that would be kind of convenient because you just stay in Florida. So I mean,
right?
Florida, but it's right there.
It's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far. That I think Miami would be the other place where they got a good line. You have Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle. You got a pretty solid run game, good offensive coordinator. They are also a team that's looking as like, we just need a quarterback. Heck, we just need a quarterback that will be healthy because unfortunately with Tua that we didn't get a chance to talk to, he might need to retire, man. Three concussions. I know it says 2, but 3 concussions in a year, like.
He'll play again, but if he suffers another one, I mean, he's got to really reassess. Yeah, no, they'll definitely make sure they get, at the very least, a good backup quarterback, a better one than Teddy Bridgewater. They'll make sure they get, I don't know who, but somebody pretty good for backup quarterback. That way, in case he gets hurt.
Yeah, because with all they spent, they really are win now mode. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming back, recapping. Keep on the lookout. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll be back with another NFL recap to just tell you all what's going on. Be on the lookout for our main show on Mondays. Quizzes on Wednesdays. NFL is going to be still on Thursdays. Once we finish NFL, like I said before, we'll probably do a monthly NBA review, as well as we will have some movie reviews coming to you. But till next time, my name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Jay.
All right, and may the discussions begin. See ya.